it's been a minute since you've gotten a video from me, but I hope everyone watching this has been super safe, and I hope that you've been blessed. I hope that your life hasn't been completely disrupted, and I hope that you're in good health. So I've been away for a couple months. I am a two-drop shawty. I'm back to being a two-drop shawty. I love it. I missed it. It was crazy. The pandemic did disrupt my life. I lost both of my jobs in March, but I'm back and I'm better. So normally we talk about music, poetry, and how it connects to life, but this time we're gonna just stick to the life aspect. I may tie in music since I'm wearing Kid Cudi. I love him. His new album is fire. If you haven't heard it, you probably should. But yeah, we're gonna talk about my experience with Amazon. So like I said, this pandemic has been crazy. I lost both of my jobs, and grateful to my family for hyping me up and holding me down throughout the many months that I was down and out. I was questioning like my direction, but at the same time I was just allowing whatever I was feeling to happen to me, like it was supposed to be this way. So I wasn't having much luck finding different jobs outside of what I had been doing. But I kept applying to Amazon. I didn't get hired right away. Like it was like 2 to 3 months of me like just trying, and like nothing would ever like come through of it. But on one morning I was like, just try it one more time. And like literally I did, and I got through, and I was like, oh my God. So the online application process is not complicated at all, but because it's in such demands, like, and people are on it literally, like it is hard to get through. So what I mean by that is like when you set up an account with Amazon and like you're going through like filling things out, if they don't have any shifts that pop up for you, that means that everything is filled. But sometimes people quit or they get terminated, so that's when things open up. So you have to stay on it, really. So that's what I did, and luckily that morning, like everything went through. I was able to select a shift, and it is a warehouse. It's a fulfillment center. So I chose 6 in the evening to like 7 in the morning, and then a little notification comes up to where you pick a time that you would go to get your badge photo taken, your IDs put on file, and then you would also get a drug screening. If your drug screening comes back correct, then you'd also get an email when your training day will start. And it'll also let you know your pay rate. So I'm getting 17 an hour for those who are curious as into like how much you make working in a warehouse. 17 an hour. Depending on what you're doing, or the advancements that you take, it is a higher rate, but it is 17 for my center, which is mood. So after you get your drug screen cleared, you're gonna go in for training. So training is 2 days, and it's different. You go in, we went in, and we watched some videos. They talked to us about the experience and how positive it can be, but also like that it is a lot of work, so you have to be up for it, which they were not wrong. It is a lot of work, but ultimately I think it is worth it. I'm full-time, so I'm a blue badge. You also have part-timers or seasonal workers, but when you're a blue badge, you have access to benefits. So I encourage everyone to think about the benefits. Like, they are super good, and I think that it's worth it. You can invest in your 401k while you're there. It comes out of every check. You can also take advantage of health care, dental care, vision care, and that also comes out of your check. You get paid every weekly. Did I say every weekly? I meant to say every week. You get paid every week. So that's also bonus. You also get paid for the training, which is beneficial. So when we went in for training, like I said, we go in, we watch a video, and then they walk us through the warehouse. And then in that moment, you're actually working. So it's like you watch a video, but you're packing. You're either gonna come in as a packer, come in as a rebinner, come in as an inductor, come in as problem solve, stower. There's a lot of different departments. I came in as a packer. So for us, we went to the different walls and there are stations. Still, there are like little screens that are down to kind of like enforce the 6 feet rule. And then behind you is a wall. And in front of you are like boxes and the screen. So basically, like, the screen will tell you what box you need, what wall chute behind you that you're gonna pull from, and then there's a conveyor belt in front of you. So when you finish packing the box, you put it on the belt and you watch it go. So you have a trainer with you, and the trainer walks you through like how to pack the box or whatever. They're really big on efficiency and quickness and numbers. So obviously when you're first starting out, you're not going to be fast. Like, you're just not. Like, you're not used to it. I wasn't used to it. In fact, like, there were like 3 people in my group who dipped like right at a couple hours in. They were like, they were not coming back to do that, which is understandable, which is why you have to go through the training process, because it kind of weeds you out. Like, it figures out what you're gonna stand for and what you're not. And it is a lot of work, but honestly, being unemployed, like, I'm here to work, like, let's do it. So another good thing about the training process, some of the people who you come in with, you kind of like, you be looking out for them, like, are they still here? Are they still here? And luckily, like, the people that I connected with, like, they're still there. So, and the people are dope, like, but anyway. So after the training process, like I said, it's 2 days. And what I want to tell you, if you are applying for a job and you are during the training process, do not be afraid to ask questions. Like, do not be afraid to talk to people who've been there for a couple months or who've been there for a year. Like, do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to find out, you know, what's what or how to do certain things. So after my training process and I came back for the next week or two, I think it was like my 2nd week, somebody comes around and they're like, hey, are you interested in cross training? Me, I was like, no, because I wanted to see like what the job was really like before I committed to like training for something else. That was like good and bad of me, because I realized like for like 3 weeks in, like, I was kind of tired of packing. Like, I was just like, can I do something else? So when you're cross training, I say yes, because you want to get a feel for the place where you're working at, which is what I was trying to do. But working in it, you want something different. Like, you want to switch it up. It makes your night go by faster. It makes you understand why you're doing what you're doing. So I went to one of the ambassadors and I went to one of the process assistants, like, hey, you know I said no, but can I take that back, and like, can I train, you know, for something else? So I now know how to pack, I now know how to induct, and I now know how to rebin. And I will have some clips of how to do those jobs, clips on how to pack and clips on how to rebin. I don't have a clip on how to induct, but I'll walk you through that if you want. So another thing that I like about Amazon is comfort. So like, normally when you go on a job, there's like a certain type of uniform, a certain type of style that like you have to abide to. But with Amazon, you can wear whatever you want. Like, for example, I'm big on music, as you know. So I wore my Big Sean Wolves tee with the sweatpants to work. Or I have a ton of Trapstar London shirts, but this is like my favorite. Cyberspace, I'm into it. So you can wear sweats, sneakers, shirts. Like, it does get a little warm, so short sleeves under a hoodie, because like when you leave the warehouse, like it is cold. So, but inside it's like nice and warm, and the Packers, they have like fans and stuff like that. So like you can maintain your individuality, which makes you work better in my opinion, like when you could just be yourself. So that's one of the good things that I like about it. One of the other things to look out for though is not wearing anything that's kind of offensive, like that somebody may take the wrong way, because you can like get pulled to the side and like they'll talk to you about it. But so far I haven't seen anything like out of the way for people getting in trouble with, you know, like how they dress. But yeah. So another thing to keep in mind is something that I had no idea about, which was TOT. So TOT is time off task. So every time that you're not logged in to your station, your time gets recorded. And if you hit a certain mark, you can get written up. And if you get written up a certain amount of times, like it can turn into termination. So I actually got pulled to the side for mine, and I was so confused because let me tell you, when I go in, I'm working, literally. So he was like, yeah, you were gone, can you tell me what you mean? And some people have been like, oh, Christina, make sure you log in. And I'm like, why are they telling me this? Like, there's no work, like, you know? So when there's no work, or when I just get to my station, this is what I would do. If it was not stocked up, I would stock it up. And boxes are all over the warehouse. So like sometimes you have to walk farther to get a box that you need. And so it would take me some time. It really would. And then once I got my area neat and tidy, then I would log in. Don't do that. As soon as you clock in, get your gloves, your box cutter, and go to your station and log in immediately. Start working. If you don't have a box, just ring your andon and hopefully somebody will get to you soon. In my case, I just like, I wanted to just make sure my area was like fully loaded before I like went in and just zoned out on the work. But yeah, whatever you do, make sure you logged in. Because I was so distraught. I'm like, I could see if I was like bullshitting, but literally I don't. So I was just like so confused. So I had told him, I was like, I had no idea about TOT or anything like that. So he understood, he heard me out, which was great. It's good for somebody to hear you out. And he was like, I understand, I hear what you're saying. So he gave me a pardon, which was a blessing. So when you are working at Amazon, please make sure you log into your station so you don't get penalized for it. And I try to tell everyone working around me, like, hey, make sure you logged in. Or if they really have to use the bathroom after break, then just let me know and I'll help. But yeah, so like breaks, you get for the 12-hour shifts, like you get 3 breaks. You get a paid 30 break, you get an unpaid 30 break, and then you get a 15-minute break. On Sundays though, if you're working a certain amount of shifts, you only get 2 breaks. But the breaks are life. Like literally they save you, because like standing on your feet is a lot of work. And when you're packing, you have this kind of like, depending on how fast you pack, you can have windows to where you have nothing to pack, to where you can just stop and rest your body and you'll be fine. But if you're rebending, lately I've been doing a lot of rebending. I have been in like the top 4 rebenders for a minute now. So they always say, Christina, you need to rebend. And I'm like, rebending is much more physical. And at first I thought it wasn't. But I stood corrected. Like it is, you're walking back and forth and you're going like, it isn't just like from here to here. It's like you're going there, and you keep pulling and pulling and pulling. And like I said, I'll show you a video of this soon. But it's a lot. So when you have that 30 minutes, like I love it. They do have break rooms, and the break rooms, if you're worried about sitting next to people during the pandemic, they have large screens up, so that way you're not breathing in someone else's space or air or whatever. And then they have food in the break room, they have drinks. You do have to pay for them. I just bring my own stuff. I bring my water, my grapes, my apples, or I do oranges because, you know, quarantine, not working. Shawty got a little thick on them. So I'm trying to like cleanse myself back to usual, normal, whatever. But yeah, so I stick to bringing like my own fruit and water from home. But I did get some gift cards for being like in the top 4 for my performance for the nights a couple times. So on a night I forgot to bring any stuff, I used the gift card that they gave me for the break room, and it was cool. So hold on, I'm trying to. So yeah, ultimately I am like grateful to Amazon because it's allowed me to like have a job, gain experience, and I'm able to have insurance again. And it's not insurance that is like crazy expensive. It's super affordable, and I'm able to, you know, invest, you know, in my 401k. And a lot of people don't think about that. They just think about the type of money you get a week from it, but I'm thinking long term, so I encourage everyone to take advantage. You can also do stock in Amazon if you're interested in that and investing, which I don't think is a bad idea. I think it's very smart. So even though it is a warehouse job, you can treat it like any other job, really. I think that like every job is going to have its pros and its cons. Obviously, you know, working overnight, working 12-hour shifts is not easy at all. Trying to stay up, trying to stay focused, it's not easy. But like you just have to think of the bigger picture, and it gets you through every time. Or the people that you meet, the people that are there that I come across, like we just vibe. Like I said, I'm always like wearing different music tees or fashion tees, so we talk about like music, art, our goals. The people there are sweet. But they are getting strict about numbers and rates. And rates are like how fast you should be doing. So if you're packing, the goal is like in between like 1 and 150 an hour. So that means that you're scanning 150 items per hour. That makes you productive. If you're rebinding, you want to get between like 300 and 400. If you're inducting, you want to get like 800 and up, like, you know. So there are some factors that are like, damn, like I'm being treated like a number. But like at the same time, you gotta do what you gotta do. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Comment below. And please, please, please stay safe as we approach the new year. Hopefully we don't have to deal with this pandemic much longer and things can get somewhat back to normal. But if they're not back to normal, please continue to be safe, wear your mask, take care of yourself, and peace and blessings to you and yours.